isn't live, but I will allow you to access this at any time you want. So this is starting off a little taster session for a pulse racer, a little bit of cardio and some resistance and toning exercises that we're going to do pre and postnatally. So I will talk you through some guidelines as we're going through. It's about half an hour long, and I will give you adaptions. So I know your criteria, I know some of your situations, and that you're put into exercise, which is fantastic. What we need to do when we're doing exercises is start to gradually rebuild on. So I'm going to layer your exercises from 1 to easy, 2 to moderate, 3 to difficult, and just bear in mind how you feel afterwards, because you might feel great in the situation, but a couple of days later will indicate whether you've done too much or too little. That's really apparent in the first 1 to 3 postnatal months, okay? So again, making sure you're feeling well and healthy. The thing we're going to think about first as we warm up is zipping into those belly buttons. So that means where your belly button is, if you can put your hand on it, your fingers on it, you're going to try and pull your belly button away from your finger and draw it into the back. What we're not going to do is round the shoulders. We're going to keep the nice height and length through the spine here. That's really important when we're coming into exercises. Again, to brace those abs, bring that awareness of that connection here. So lengthening through a nice strong march. I'm going to keep it to an RPM, 132-ish, so it's an aerobic activity. So it's not going to be too strenuous, but brilliant news, all the health benefits from working at this level, okay? So we're going to start to use our arms a little bit and take it into a new move. So we're going to collaborate moves together, take it into step touch to step touch. So nice and easy again. So again, any little people around by the feet, step over the little person. Keeping the belly button pulled in. But as you breathe in, you're not restricting your breath because you're holding too tight. That should be where you're feeling it in the abdominal muscles, okay? So the arms are coming up higher to build the intensity. So it's really simple here, okay? Now, this is level 1, step touch. Level 2 is add a little bit of a bounce as you touch down. Tap with the knees bending. So level 1, step touch. Level 2, tap, tap. Level 3 takes it a little bit more intense. So layering it up, take it into tap. Again, when you're ready to, you can move through each of the levels. I'll talk you through once more. 10 more seconds. Step touch. So you're going to build it up gradually. Good. Whew. Shouldn't be too taxing just yet. We want to get that level 4 out of 10 for now. Take it into a little tap here. Excellent. Now a little bit harder. Good. Push down through the heels. Again, keep your belly button in, chest is lifted. You need to be looking towards me, making eye contact. If you're feeling this in your lower back, you take it up a little bit higher. Otherwise, if you can, take it down low. Touch, tap, down. Good. Back to step touch. So step. Good. We're going to take it into a double step touch, which makes taking it side to side, show me, and lead. 2 steps. 2 steps. Good. Again, using the same intensity here. Just want to point out in front of me, I have some free weights. Again, not too light. We want to build up that resistance. And I have a ball, which can be a ball that you play with the kids. If you don't have one of those, that is a bendable. I know the name is really terrible. And if you can, we're going to start taking into a little bit of a squat as we move to step touch. Again, you don't have to worry too much if it's too much. So that is level 2. Step 1 is level 2, little bit of a dip between. I'm going to take it up to level 3. Is where you add a little jump tap. So you tap, feet together, tap, feet together. Don't worry too much. Coordination is part of fitness, and if this is too much bearing down, if you've just had a baby, stick with that stuck touch. Level 2, use the arms to increase the intensity. Excellent. Take it back to step touch double. So again, I'm saying the balls. Little deflated ball is going to give you all that support to switch on your pelvic floor. I'm going to focus on that today. Now, level 2, if you can. Level 3, little hop. So we're bouncing a little bit. Good. Excellent. Last time. Now, simple curl. Don't worry, it's not going to be all aerobic. It's not my bag, baby. It's not my favorite thing, but it's the most effective way when we're training. Either when we're pregnant, usually second trimester is a good time to do this workout, or if you just had a baby, building back up to your fitness, okay? So we're gonna squat, squat, tuck. So, squat, tuck, slow it down if you need to. Squat into it, heel to butt. Squat, tuck. Or, level 1, kick the heel to your butt. So you've got level 1, really simple. Level 2, squat, kick, and to make it a little bit harder, you build up the pace. Excellent, again, making sure we're still pulling that tummy in. Excellent, good. Now to make it a little bit harder. This, if everything is feeling good down below, is a gentle step in, jump in. So light on the toes, heels, toes. Again, try one. If it's too much for you, you have 2 other levels behind you, okay? Or look, you need something in between. Step to the side, to the bum back. Now, if you can, everyone join me. Step to the side, butt back. Again, sit the belly button in. Should be able to talk back to me. You can do 2, 3, forwards. Just sing along to the track. Then you're in the right track for building up the heat and getting warm. This is not your burner yet, okay? Excellent, but if you're feeling like it is, take it into little tap instead, okay? Tap. I'm going to show you a little routine now. Work with me, and that'll be our warm-up done. We'll go into resistance and some weights. From the weights and resistance, you don't have to use weights here, you can build up to them. I'll show you both. Then you're going to go into ball work and core work, okay? Safe ones for your situation, so watch. March. We need a bit of space. If you can, you need at least 2 meters across, if you have, if you're not going outside. Or you can stay on the spot and just adapt it by marching. So we're going to go into the double step touch. So we go double, double. Easy. That's not available to use your single step touch, which is here. This is single step touch, otherwise keep the double. Just a demo there. We're going to add on at the end of each one. Watch. Squat, tap. Just squatting in a leg back. Tap, up. Tap. Now if that's too much, you're just going to tap, back, tap. So you're going to do a little bit of a hip, back. Hips like a mambo. 4, 3, 2, 1, double. So double. You can double and take it lower. Again, it's just a step touch, or you can take it into tap down. We're going to say on the other side this time. Now watch. Either you step into the squat, if it feels comfortable to do so, or you stick on that mambo. So you stay up high, you come forward, do the hip. Mambo, turn the body. 4, 3, 2. At any time, you can jog or walk it out. Double, double. Take it down and up. And if you can, on the next one, we're going to take it to level 3 here. Watch. Take it into curl on the end there. Excellent. So other side, high knees. So this is just your curl. Now watch. That double step touch went to a double lunge step, or into that higher intensity like I did at the beginning of the warm-up. So watch, jump, 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 hop together, jump, hop together. If that's not for you, stick with this or this version. Once more, there and back. Then we take it into those curls. Again, if you feel comfortable, add the intensity. We get 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here, here. Finishing on the other side, into knees. So again, you really need to think about tightening the bellies. If it's reaching the arms over the head is too much, or your breastfeeding doesn't feel comfortable, keep it low, but I want you to bring your knees forward. Or if you'd like to, take it into a kick. If the kick's too much, just the knees, good. 4, 3, 2, back to step, step, good. Or that little jump. Excellent, we're almost done for this warm up. Hope you're feeling a little warmer. Again, adapt it to your workout from the top. March it out here. Squat, step, or mambo. So squat, tap, squat, tap, squat, or 5 to mambo. 4, 3, 2, 1. Move. Double or jump. Or jump. One more there and back. And then we hold it here. March. Take it from tap, squat. Here. Stop that foot. Or 5 mambos. 3. Or squat. Take it back. Double, double, double. Or add the jump. Or squat across. Again, if it's feeling comfortable, you can stay. Take it into curl here. Arms overhead to make it harder. Again, if you're breastfeeding, really pull those elbows back. Keep it chest height. Otherwise, overhead, out of bounds if you can. 5, 4, 3, 2, take it double. Again, you choose. We're taking it to our peak now. And this time, knee lifts. Again, either overhead, here, kick if you want. Your choice. What feels good? We can do one of each. 8, or bounce. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, march. So now we're going to go into a little bit of conditioning part of this routine. Again, if you've just given birth or you had an episiotomy, you should be signed off before you do these exercises. If there's any pulling on your tummy or your lower region or vaginal area or your episiotomy scar, please cease. Most common, the lunges are going to feel like that more so. So I'm going to give you a version of a lunge that you should be able to do, but at any time you need to, you stop. So this is called a curtsy lunge. You can use your weights if you want to. So you're using weights, keep it nice and light. So I march on the spot. Feet hip width apart for balance. Again, pulling that belly button in tight towards my spine, lengthening through my crown. So I bring myself 1 foot behind. So if you don't want to do, just watch on the curtsy lunge. So I take foot behind, one leg faces forward, and I take my time to sit the knee down into it. The deeper I go with my back and spine up and erect, the more I'm going to feel it into the hamstrings and glutes to shape that bottom. That bottom and hamstrings are going to be quite tight at the moment. So moderate your movement. Don't have to go down too low to feel it. If you want a little bit more and you have weights, hands by the sides, and you curl, elbows, side of the body, glue them in, keep them there, and they bring to the chest as you move over. Good. You can slow it down at any point. We do a couple more here. So the idea is to keep the legs a little bit closer together, but still working different dynamic moves. Whew. Last time. Good. Take it into fine march at the beginning. So if you're using weight, bring them up by your chin or chest. I wouldn't advise using baby, I'm afraid. You can always use tins or water bottles full to the brim. A good grip on those, or hand glove weights, okay? So now I'm going to start taking it into strong march. Knees up in front. Cool. So now the next move is keeping your weights here if you have them. But you're going to go wide. You're going to squat, knee, squat, knee. So look, wide, elbows into the midriff, down, squat, knee. If you can't do the squat with the knees, then you stick with just the knee high. Good. It's not a crunch, it's a knee lifting. Squat the bum down, lift. Or you drop the weight, okay? Now, level 3, I'm gonna drop the weights here to show you. Down, kick. That's not for everyone. Get episiotomy scars, feels uncomfortable pulling on the tummy. You stick with the knees, or look. Tap, tap, tap. Take it to the side. Still working. Back into those curtsy lunges. Grab your weights if you need to. Curtsy, so behind. Curl if you want to with the arms. Back to center. Ooh, lovely. Looking good. Get into the halfway mark. So again, I said this is going to be about half an hour long. I'm going to give it to you to play back at your leisure. You're the only people who have access to this, and go through it. Give me your feedback, or if you need any options, I will record personally for you and add to the live class all the variants that you need. So it's a data collection for you guys to personalize your workout. Let's work to what you need. Last one, march. Take it to the high knees again. Again, high knees with the weights is an option. Strong high knee, tilting the pelvis. The more you can bring your knees up with your back straight, the more cardio you're going to get. Use your arms. If you've got no weight, soldier your arms running up and get that heart rate up. You can even jog it out. So these are climbers. Up to you. Again, if it feels too much here, you take it down. Use your arms to punch and pump the arms. So if you can, for 10 seconds, we're going to go fast as we can. So this is a bit of a cardio now, wipe out. So go 10 seconds. Let's do it. 10, 9, faster, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shake it off. So this is a little bit of an intensity interval here. You've got that exercise, you've got a march or a sprint in the spot. This one is your all over body. We're going to do that for another 10 seconds. 20 seconds recovery, 10 seconds, working on our hip dynamic. 3, 2, 1. So you've got this climber going on. High knee or sprint on the spot. Bringing your arms up with your knees high. So you're going to do that as fast and as hard as you can for another 8, 7, 6. These are options. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So we're going to do, ideally you need to do about 6 and a short 20-second blast to 10 to 20-second blast. It's going to be enough first off that HIIT session. You don't need anything more than that. So let's go. Another 10 seconds. You choose your options. 4, 3, 2. Either your sprint on the spot. Try and get it as fast as you can. So you're getting the heart rate up to the maximum. So you're blasting it through that roof now. We're going to do 10 seconds. Either reaching up, you can choose, or mix between the two. So we've got another 8, 7, then you'll have a full rest. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. This is getting tired. You can always punch from the front there. It's more comfortable. Take it to that breather. Do not stop. Keep moving if you can. Grab some water at the end, not in between the high intensity. It's not conducive. You've got 3 more sets to give your 6. So you've got 10 seconds. And you're going to go 3 more times. Again, moderating your levels. If you need to bow out quicker than that, then fine. Let's go for another round. 4, 3, 2, 1. Choose the option. So you give it all you've got, as much as you can, or punch it in front, whatever feels more comfortable. If it's starting to get too much, again, breastfeeding, this is feeling like it's pulling, punch out, fast arms in front. Try and keep the tempo of your feet and your arms the same, but fast, to really maximize it. Or you're sprinting on the spot. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Step, march. You've got 2 more sets. You think you can do it? If you're feeling 9 out of 10 already, and you feel like you're super tired, you haven't had a good night, bow out now. Otherwise, for those super fitties, you're going to try number 5, and the ultimate is sit. If you need to freeze me, come back, or fast forward, feel free to. Okay, well, good set, penultimate, 3, 2, 1, let's go. So I'm going to do a sprint now. So like I said, you can change it up. Shouldn't be able to talk as much as I am, but I have a third lung, and I'd like to think some kind of fitness. So I've got 2 little children of my own. My baby's a year old, and I work in fitness. But ain't it hard tough when you've got them on sleeper? And it's just so, girls, so this is why we've got to get it quick, out, sharp, and painless as possible for the shortest time. Okay, girls, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So through the entire time of coming back to teach classes, it was my go-to, but it needs to be sensible here, okay? So there's no reason you can't do it if you've been passed and you've got no problems doing the exercises. It's just literally hardest exercise you can do for 20 seconds, no more than 6. That's all you need to do. So let's go. 3, 2, final set, girls. Keep it up with me if you can. We're going to go to the floor with our ball. I'll show you some exercises to do with the ball. If you haven't got a ball, what are you doing? You can get one from the shops. I mean, these ones are actually proper bendables. I got them for £1.50. But if you go anywhere, pound shop, get one. Just let it be a little bit deflated and it's perfect workout tool for you. Let's do it as fast as you can. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take that water break. I'll take some water myself. Particularly if you're breastfeeding, the water supply is going to be really important after you've done anything high intensity, because what you'll find is if you you could either express or feed before, sometimes it's a little bit more stuck, a little more stagnant, the flow. And I found actually if I was working for more than 2 hours in fitness, I don't think I'll be doing that just yet. I did dry a little bit. Lovely. Okay, so let's get that ball. So again, it's a slightly deflated ball. You need to position it where it feels comfortable for you. So if most of us are going to feel it a little bit on our backs because of how our bumps are being held. So what we think about is our abdominal muscles hugging. Okay, so that's where we want to feel the ball. If you've got any problems sitting on your coccyx, get a cushion, okay? That could be an afterbirth problem, and you won't notice it sometimes you do certain exercises. So what I want to do is bring my ball to support my lower back. If it's putting pressure, it's not the right position. I'm going to slightly lean on it. But if I rest my whole body weight into it, my abs can't hug around, which is what I want them to do. I want them to come back from the separation. So I want to come to that point where I feel like I'm trying to crunch, trying to bring those muscles together and tightening, keeping my tummy muscles flat. Now, I want to keep my chin relatively close to my chest and my shoulders back. Now, breastfeeding makes me do this. So if you're heavy on your breastfeeding, bring your hands down, give yourself a bit more support, and think about bringing your boobs, nipples to ceiling, where they used to be. Okay, so from here, we draw the belly in tight, or you're going to just hold it there and focus on that intensity of trying to grip through the belly and the abdominal muscles here, okay? So you're holding them in, simple as that. Breathing is key in this exercise. So, deep breath in, breathe into your ribcage, exhale. Do you know where your pelvic floor muscles are? Between your legs and thighs, where you push the baby out. You need to connect with them fundamentally to your core. So this first move is focusing on bringing the core muscles, noticing them, okay? Then we're going to use the ball to bring in our pelvic floor so we can't miss out the pelvic floor. So you're going to hold. So you want to find that point of tension where it's not straining in your neck, the ball sits comfortably, and you can feel your ab wall clenching, building together. You're going to do another couple of seconds if you can. Stick it out with me. So again, I've been working on this for a while. If you can't do the length of time, build it up. Give yourself a break. If you're feeling head and neck, the form is gone, give yourself a break. Take an inhale. Now, if you need to use the sides to push yourself up, okay? So you should be cleared exercise, so there should be no displacement there or separation, but if you need to come to the side, just in case, all right? So we don't want to cause any problems at the back. Next thing we're going to do is use the ball. Fix the pelvic floor. So the ball, or cushion if you don't have one, is going to sit between the thighs, below the knees, and we're going to squeeze it tight and work into pelvic floor exercises. So from here, lying on my back. If you're pregnant, what you might want to do is just prop yourself up, so maybe have something to lean against on the top of the shoulders so you can still do this exercise, okay? Cool. So we're going to squeeze the ball and we're going to engage our pelvic floor muscles and use our breath. There's a few things to think about here. So take a breath in. On the exhalation, you're going to squeeze your ball and pull your tummy in. 2 things only. So inhale. As you exhale, squeeze the ball, draw your belly in. Don't forget to release as you inhale. So the inhale, everything is relaxed. On the exhale, squeeze the ball, draw your tummy in. So I'm going to exaggerate this movement so you can see. You can bring your hand to your belly to feel it sinking. It's doming. It means there isn't much going on correctly, that you might need to just come back to some physio exercises just with the pelvic floor. So it's interesting because sometimes what we find is we pull it in and it pops back up. We need to get that control over the abs. So what I'm doing is a good length of time that you might build up to. You might find that you do, and it's very quick, and then release because we're building the tone back in, okay? So my level of measure isn't your level of measure. Squeeze your ball, do that first, and then draw your abs in, and it will start to bring the fix of pelvic floor and the lower abs together to rehabilitate your abdominal muscles, and that's as simple as it needs to be. If you're doing this from a pregnancy angle, you just need to squeeze your ball and breathe, but don't think about your abs. You just need to squeeze your ball because it will work your pelvic floor muscles, okay? And you'll slightly support it. Another option is to bring your large gym ball, which most of you are probably sitting on, and pressing against it on your back, leaning into it. Again, a really good way to support your bump and back when you're doing your pelvic floor muscles. Brilliant for adding to making sure that you are strong for birth. So do a couple more for me. So breathing in, breathing out, squeeze the ball, tighten your abs up. Brilliant. Okay, we've got a couple more exercises before we finish off. So if you can, lying onto your side, ball is going to go between your legs, not quite the ankles there. You're going to come to a side line and look at the angle here. So I don't want to be here and I don't want to be too far under that I'm shooting over shoulder from elbow. So I need to press down to the floor. I'm going to keep my ball here. And I'm just going to bring my fingers in front. So as I squeeze my ball, keep my knees level, look, I'm not collapsing feet. Squeeze my ball to keep my feet apart and lift my legs up. All I'm going to do is hold here. So pelvic floor exercise is working here. And then lower my feet. I breathe in, lift, and lower. So this, again, is not intense. This is level 1, okay? So can you see I'm trying to let my feet collapse and squeezing the ball as I lift my heels up slightly. So I'm getting this slight lift. You can do this in pregnancy. You can do this postnatally. Again, any discomfort, you stop. Otherwise, you're going to squeeze and lift. It works in the thighs, upper legs. I don't know about you, but did you notice when you get pregnant, you get fat between your thighs? Or is it just me? I was very surprised by that. And someone said to me, it's because you're storing milk. And I just laughed in her face. But actually, there's a little bit of it. You need extra fat supply lie down in your body for milk storage. But it doesn't always say that. Cool. Okay. So lift, squeeze. We're going to do the other side in a second, but I want to give you a second level. Again, you don't have to do this. Should be okay for everyone to do. See how you feel. So this time we're going to lift. So I'm keeping my heels tucked behind me and my toes and the heels are stacked. And I'm just going to slowly lift my hips up and then my hips down. What I don't want to do is disengage each time. If that's too much, then stick with level 1. Otherwise, I'm lifting, touch the hip down and come up. Now this arm can stay on your hip. So I'm just dropping up and down. So all I want to be doing, so I don't know if you can see me with this baggy top, is the knees are in line with my fingertips. So my elbow's in line with my hip that touches down. So I've got a bit of an angle here from my hip to knee. And I'm just tapping my hip and lifting up to the highest, keeping my knees together. You can be your hand here, harder, hand here, here, or if you need a bit more support, in front, but don't let your body come forward. We're going to do 5. We're going to pause at the top. 4, 3, 2. Now, if you want to work a little bit harder, we are going to do this version, okay? And it is a lot more challenging. We're gonna come up onto our knees. We tap, lift, and bring our hands through and under, then reach up, chest forward. Tap, lift, reach up. This one, not advisory for pregnant. Stick with the level 2. So I'm following the hand under, touch, lift, rotate. The hips stay forward, my knees stay stacked. Down, up, rotate. Good. Perfect. Once more. Take a breather. If you're feeling it anywhere you shouldn't do, take that breather. Now let's move over to the other side. Starting out, basic move. Ball or cushion comes back between the thighs again. Just seeing how we're doing on time. Let's re-warm those lower muscles up again. So I like to do this. Is almost like waking the muscles up to get them back into business. So we start always before we do the next exercise, squeezing the ball, drawing the abs in, retraining those muscles. So making sure they're doing the job. When we get tired, that's the other reason when they don't work effectively, and you can train your muscles incorrectly and cause more damage. So you need to be aware of what's going on. So I try not to do too many reps. First off, I build up modestly, and then I'm squeezing and pulling in on the out breath. So inhale, exhale, squeeze and draw the belly in. Keep your shoulders relaxed. And I need to really focus on squeezing the ball with my thighs, not just drawing my knees towards each other. So working, activate that thigh. Let's do 4, 3, 2, and that 1. Then we can come up. If you need to, use your hand to roll up. So again, any problems, you can stay on your back lying if you feel comfortable in pregnancy, but don't be there for more than probably a minute, 2, okay? So not for a long period of time, okay? And also monitor how you're feeling. So now we're going to move the ball down between the calf muscles and lift the heel up, so you're squeezing the ball so your feet aren't collapsing. So knees in line with my fingers, my elbow is underneath my shoulder. So and I just want to practice that as I lift my legs up to see where they are. So all I'm going to do is squeeze and lift. So remember, hips here, squeeze and lift. Sometimes you might want to just change the placement of where your legs are. So you might want to push your hips back, slightly more angle as you lift the heels up to really feel it kicking into the inner thigh and that hip there, okay, hip position. So when we have babies, there seems to be accumulation of fat. Sometimes people get it around the back fat, or they get it between the legs, or maybe at the top of the hips here, okay? So we're laying down, just padding, and also areas to support the bump. So it's just bringing our center of gravity. So sometimes we just want to do a focus work on these areas, not too much. So we call it fat mobilization. So you focus on these areas with a little bit of pinpointed. I mean, you can't spot fat reduce, but if you can start mobilizing the fat, that's always an option here. So we're squeezing a lift. So you're kind of telling where you want to start moving the fat. So you could then do a little bit of cardio after these exercises, and before is good as well. So good. So a couple more, squeeze and lift. 2 and 1. Then we're removing the ball. So again, level 1, side lifting. Stack the knees, stack the legs. As you lift up to test, see if you're lifting from the underside, engaging the abs. We come up and down. So you have option hand on hip, or a little bit harder, hand up high, or hand by the temple. But what you don't want to do is when you tap down to lift, is not take a rest as you tap the hips down and not start to look forward, which is lift, push through the forearm to get that lift. So when you push through the forearm, you get that underside lift, so you're lifting from that waist there. Good, so let's try it. Good. And you lift the hips directly up. Again, try not to do this kind of movement. Tap, think about tap that hip, lift that hip. Tap, lift. Good. So again, this is your level 2. If you want to do a little bit harder, do you remember what I said? Up, down, up, under, up. Tap, up, follow the hand, thread the needle down, lift, tap. Again, you don't need to do too many of these. Good. Now I'm not holding our breath either or tensing our mouth or jaw. That tells me that you're probably putting too much work into your shoulder and not your obliques, your side muscles. We do a couple more. Good. And we're going to take it down to a little bit of a stretch. Excellent. Bring it down. So again, use your hand if you need to. Stretching out. If you're pregnant, feet go a little bit wider. If not, feet together. Knees slightly bent because your hamstrings are still going to be tight. And just thinking about not overstretching, so do bend your knees regardless. Draw your belly in, reach your hands up high. Take an inhale, exhale, stretch for your toes. Again, if you need to make space, turn your knees out slightly, but make sure your heels are to the floor. As you reach between for your toes, if you can't quite reach the toes, then you're reaching for your ankles. You want to open up your back, it's not necessarily the hamstrings. So you want to start having the angle as your pelvis push down, reach forward, and then let the head relax down. Take a deep breath in, and then you're going to try and push your heels away and straighten your legs as you do so. Just moderately so you feel the intensity on the exhalation. So we inhale, and the exhale we push into it. You're going to do that twice more. So on the exhalation, you're going to try and push your heels away and straighten the legs. Again, feeling a gentle stretch. One more. And release. A lot of our stretches are going to focus heavily on the lower back and upper shoulders just for now. So you're going to bring your heel into your center there. Reach up and you're going to turn. If you're pregnant, you're not going to do the turn. You're going to reach for your toes and stretch. If you're pregnant, you're going to reach up and come over to the side if you have a belly in the way there. So you're doing the side stretch from the QL, which is going to get tight there. So what I'm doing is I'm just trying to dive down to my waist, to my thigh on that left side. Or inhale, reach up, push down through the sit bones into the heel and stretch forward if you're doing the non-pregnancy one there. Take a breath in and lower the head a little bit more. We're going to do that once more. And then we're going to release and switch over. So you're bringing the other heel in to the center there. Straighten up the back, take an inhale, option again to reach down for the toe, keep the toe flexing, or the ankle, whatever, and try and draw your chest towards the toe, dropping the head down. Again, pregnancy, the same centered, you're reaching for the foot, ankle or toe, and stretching up to the side to get the same or thereabouts effect where you need a stretch to release. So again, either facing forward, reaching through the toes, breathe in, breathe out, lower into it. Excellent, last time. You're going to bring both heels together. And you're going to push your heels forcefully together. Again, if you've got a ball, you can support your knees if you're feeling a bit tight. But actually what we tend to find is we're a little bit looser here. So I want you to grip by pushing your heels together, because post-pregnancy and in pregnancy, you're going to have a little bit more loose ligaments. So squeezing your feet together is going to give you a little bit more control, less aggravation to the groin. So we draw the shoulders back. Either you can start to lean forwards if your flexibility is there, or you bring your hands, fingertips to the floor, making a little cradle there. Chest lifts, shoulders back, and you squeeze. Again, feet together, but lift the chest instead of lifting the chest. So take a breath in. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Once more. And then we're just going to come, if you can, comfortably to cross legs. And that is your first initiation with the movements. We don't use babies because it's not safe to do so. You can do it in your own time, but I'm not going to advise you to. Simply, if you need to buy some equipment, it's pretty cheap to buy equipment now. Now we're out of lockdown, most possibly, and a lot of people selling them second hand. But the ball, key element. Give me your feedback. Anything you did and didn't like, let me know, and I will do a live version tailored for your